Hey everybody, what's up? This is Chris. Hey, I wanted to do this quick little thing on electrical. I'm doing some electrical work today. Basically hooking up the final connection. So what I did was I ran all my wire. I ran a 12-2 and then a 14-2 wire. And I ran the 12-2 for the plugs and outlets and a 20 amp breaker, and then 14-2 I ran for my can lights. And I put a 15 amp breaker. So basically I've already wired this up. So I turned this a single 15 amp breaker. I just made it a tandem. Basically we have a 200 amp panel here, so it's no problem, to add a couple breakers onto it. If you had, like a 100 amp panel and you were unsure, then you would probably want to call a professional to have him, check the load and just make sure you're not going to start popping breakers. So this is a 200 amp panel, so we have plenty to work with. So basically I ran this wire and this wire all the way down to the basement, and I came up, and I'm just going to kind of do the final connection. So let me say before I do anything, I'm just going to tell you right now, really the only thing, the main thing that matters in this thing is do not touch. Let me show you. These are lugs down here. These 3 lugs down here, they carry pretty much all of the power in this 200 amp panel. So it's pretty much game over if you were to touch either one or any of these lugs. And basically it's the same thing all going up the thing. Anything over here where the wire touches, any connections, you just don't want to touch it. So that being said, if you don't feel comfortable, definitely just call an electrician to come out and do this for you. But it is a pretty simple process. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out this one breaker, 20 amp single breaker, and then I bought these tandem breakers. This is all a square D box. So it's a tandem breaker, it's called, and so it has two circuits on one breaker. Pretty neat. So anyway, so to do this, all you're really going to do, once you're positive, you're going to stay away from everything. You're going to want to take the neutral and the white wire and the ground wire, and you're going to want to hook them up to your bus bar. So let me show you a little closer here. So these are your 2 bus bars. You're running up and down the side, and those carry your neutral and your ground for any box. And so what I did was I just hooked it up straight down here. I hooked both of them up right next to each other, which you can do that nowadays. And you just hook them right up. You can see all that. This is your bus bar. This is where all your grounds and your neutral go. Okay, so that being said, popping these breakers out is real easy, and it's the same thing if you want to change the breakers in your panel. You're going to have to pull the box from the outside, which you're going to have an electrician or IPL, whoever your provider is going to have to do that for you. But for doing this, it's really easy. So you just click the breaker off, and basically once you have the breaker off and you're ready to put these in, you can either do this by your hand or your screwdriver or whatever, but you just pluck these things out of here and they come out really easy. And then once you have your breaker, then you're just gonna unscrew the old breaker, which is going to be, bam, pull that wire off there. There's your original breaker. It's just a single amp 20. So, and you're going to take your tandem breaker, and these usually have really small heads on the screws, so you might need a little smaller screwdriver, but you figure, so your 20 amp breaker is going to go in there right there, so you're just going to put your one wire in, and you're going to tighten that bad boy up, give it a good snug. Make sure you're tightening these up pretty good too, by the way. And then you're going to grab the other one and you're going to hook it up same way. And you're going to tighten that bad boy up pretty tight. just like so. And then to put these in, it's just the same as taking them out. So you're gonna wanna hook them in there first. You're gonna wanna hook them in there, and then you can either just push them in. I like to just kind of grab a little screwdriver and just kind of tap them in just like that. And then you're gonna wanna push all these wires off to your side to make sure you make a nice clean in case you're gonna have it inspected. And then as you can see, so this was the wire. This was the other wire that I ran. This was the 14-2 wire, and that goes to the 15 amp breaker, and then the 12-2 wire, as you can see, is gonna go to a double 20 amp breaker. So, tuck all that in there, and then you're just gonna put your cover back on, and that is how you turn a single amp or a single pole breaker into a tandem breaker. And obviously the hard part of this is going to be to pull the wire. So I mean, in order to get the wire up here, I didn't show you guys any of that, but you're probably going to have to drill some holes. You may have to pull up some carpet. You may have to take subfloor up. A lot of guys have different tricks. You can pop recessed can lights out. You can take them down out of the ceiling, you know, and then use a pull wire to pull whatever you got to do to get the wire here. This one was pretty easy. I just ran down and I just had to drill a hole in the rim joist to get down to the basement. And then I just had my 2 hot leads down there. All right. Thanks again for watching, and there will be more to come.